I know you're a big fantasy guy. Are you riding the Kyler Murray Express or no?
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I've been drafting Patrick Mahomes as early as possible. Him or Lamar Jackson. That's what I've been rocking with for the last 3 or 4 drives.
Interesting. Now, when you say as early as possible, you mean like round 2 or 3 or like round 4 or 5?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Somebody actually, I just did a draft yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
And someone took Patrick Mahomes at number 4.
Wow, that's
a little nervous about that. So, you know me, I had the 12th pick, so I doubled back. I went either Julio or someone else, and then Lamar Jackson. I got to get you one of those top guys.
I got you.
And
okay.
To be honest, in some of these leagues, Lamar is a little bit more valuable.
Just curious. So let me ask you this. Let's put the Bucs and Brady aside and the Pats and Belichick aside, because I think a lot of people, when I ask you the question I'm about to ask you, a lot of people would say, well, we might finally get the answer as to who is more important, Brady or Belichick, whatever. So I'm going to put don't say either the Bucs or the Pats. What's the most interesting storyline this season, coming into the season, in your opinion?
Those are the top 2 storylines, but I think the biggest thing for me is going to be Tennessee and their old style of football, running down your throat, playing solid defense against all these guys that want to come out in 3 wide receiver sets. And can that sustain? Can that be sustainable? The running Derrick Henry into the, not into the ground, but continually giving him 300-400 carries a season, or is it going to be the high flying, Chiefs type style of offense, or the Rams, or whatever it may be? Is it the Kyle Shanahan era where you're going to run the ball at people and run it 8 times in the NFC Championship game? Or is it going to be the Chiefs where you throw the ball, 50, 60 times trying to put up points? So I think, to me, every team has a different aspect to it. But I believe in the Tennessee Titans style of play where you need running backs to win games late in the year.
Yeah.
And if we were going to talk about a style, if I were going to say the Bucs, if I was going to say the Bucs, it wasn't going to be about Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. It was going to be, well, you went and got Leonard Fournette. How much can he impact the Bucs late in the year?
Yeah, no, and I think he's a pounder. He's a grinder. He may be a disappointment to Jacksonville Jaguars fans, but it doesn't take away some of his talent. We'll see how much he's used, even though Bruce Arians has said Rojo is the guy, Ronald Jones is the guy. And staying in that previous division, Deshaun Watson, he just got paid. And we always question whether or not once you pay a quarterback, can you keep it's a viable team around him. Now, he doesn't really have a big cap number until 2022, which begs the question that follows is, are they ready to win in the next couple of years, this Houston Texans team, or does moving out DeAndre Hopkins and, the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC? Tell me your thoughts on Deshaun Watson. He had to get paid. Is this the right deal for him?
Well, yeah, I definitely think that they've made – I truly believe that they didn't let go of DeAndre Hopkins because of Deshaun Watson. They let him go because of their left tackle that they had to pay. Right? They had to start protecting Deshaun Watson. He was getting hit all around the yard. I mean, this dude had to take an RV or a bus to Jacksonville from Houston. He couldn't fly with the team because he was so banged up.
That's right.
Like, that became an issue.
Yeah.
So we have to now protect our quarterback and pay our quarterback. So I think they have enough pieces around him with the David Johnsons and Brandon Cooks and Will Fullers and Randall Cobbs, and you got in your 2 tight ends. You have enough pieces around there to go make it work. It's now on this defense and J.J. Watt to step up and play like he played early in his career. Now, he's been banged up a little bit. He hasn't really been the same guy that was, I want to say he won the Defensive Player of the Year 3 times, 2 or 3 times in a row or something like that, something crazy. You need to get that aspect. You got to get that out of him as well. And if he can affect the quarterback, it'll help Whitney Merciless. It'll help Zach Cunningham, who's going to be covering those running backs and tight ends out of the field, and it'll help that secondary as well. So, it's going to be more on the defense than it will be on Deshaun Watson. He's going to score points.
Yeah.
And let's remember, Deshaun Watson, they were up 24-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs. If you have defense, that should be more than enough in the NFL to win.
That's true.
And that became an issue.
That's true. I'm going to give you 4 names. Final thing for me, though, by the way, Tiki. We're talking about MJD, Maurice Jones-Drew, with us here on the show. No order. I'll give you Baker. I'll give you Josh Allen. I'll give you Daniel Jones. I'll give you Sam Darnold. Of those 4, who's the guy, if any, when we're sitting here next year at this time, excuse me, that we are hailing an emerging superstar?
Whew, that is a tough question. I would probably either go with Daniel. I would probably say with Daniel Jones at first. I think that his rookie year was promising. His personality and the players they have around him are a little bit more consistent. I would probably then say Baker after that, because Baker's in a system that has been proven to be quarterback friendly, especially with the weapons that he has around him. You know, if Baker doesn't succeed this year, it's on Baker. It's not on anything else.
Yeah.
I would then probably go with Josh Allen. Again, they built around him. They went and got Stephon Diggs. You got the running back. Your offensive line's really good. You know, again, they're building around. They have a strong defense, so he'll get opportunities to continue to get better. Mm-hmm. And the reason I have Sam Darnold last has nothing to do with his talent, but it's what's around him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, let's be honest. In year 3, you can't have like Jamison Crowder, a really good player, can't be your top receiver.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, great player, can't be your top receiver. He's a running back, right? You have to put weapons around him. For them to let Robbie Anderson go in free agency became an issue, because that's who Sam Darnold keyed on and was able to be that playmaker. And so they really, yes, they beat up the offensive line to protect him, but they didn't really protect him by giving him many weapons on the outside, guys he could throw to.
I get it.
And so I think you're going to have to wait another year with Sam Darnold before he becomes that superstar, just because they don't have enough players around him, to be honest with you.
That's fair. Tiki, got anything else?
No,
You good?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
MJD, appreciate you, buddy. Good hopping on. Looking forward to it, man.
Let me say this, too, because you talked about a storyline, and I forgot this one.
Oh, here we go.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be really good this year.
I got to be honest, man. I was a little surprised you were leading with the Titans with the most interesting storyline, but go ahead.
Well, the reason I was going to say the Titans is because, any team that runs the ball, Tiki, you know this, you got to give them love. I don't care.
Agreed.
They ran their way into the AFC Championship game. You got to show them love, because we're still trying to devalue the running back position. But if
you got one, you got one.
That's never going to happen.
If you got one, you got one.
The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be amazing. I feel like they don't need Big Ben to be this guy throwing 5,000 yards. They just need Big Ben to be what he was his first couple years. Get him out of some tough situations, let him help, but their defense is going to be lights out. And they have some young receivers that can go make plays like they did when they won Super Bowls. And, don't be surprised you see the Pittsburgh Steelers, in the top of the league, because they went 8-8 with playing with guys, to be quite frankly, your third, fourth-string quarterback.
Don't disagree. It's something we've hit. I think it's a fair point. MJD, we got to bounce a little late. Good having you on the show as always. Thank you, man.
No problem, guys.
There you go. Maurice Jones-Drew. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.